Good morning or afternoon or night, whenever you're watching this. So, let's talk about Dragon Quest III HD-2D Remake. Okay, I finally was able to complete the main story, and I have been able to get to, in the post game, to Divine Gone, or Zenlon, I guess. Um, you know, and yeah, I have not been able to beat him yet, so I'm going to retry. I was so close to beating him. I'm going to retry to beat him. I just need to do a little bit of grinding, but basically, I wanted to talk about my experience through this game and my thoughts and all of that stuff. But I'm just going to talk about the main story. I'm not going to talk about post game yet because I do want to actually beat the post game before I actually give my thoughts, my full on thoughts on the post game. Um, but in terms of the full main story of the game, so in it I've this is my third version of Dragon Quest III that I've played. I've played the mobile version, and then I've played the Game Boy Color version. And I will say this is by far my favorite version, because of how just gorgeous everything looks. I mean, head to toe, freaking just everything is stunning, absolutely stunning in the HD-2D sort of format. It's such a beautiful just way to portray like a game. It really, really is, especially one this beloved in this franchise. And for me personally, if you, I don't know if you know or not, but this specific game was never my favorite. This was the my least like favorite game in the whole franchise. And yeah, and then basically, this version of it kind of helped like bring up the level of how much I love it. Um like in my rankings, my total rankings, but unfortunately, after the post game, it kind of went back down to the same spot. But I'm still not done with the post game, so it could change. So that's why I kind of want to hold off until I beat the post game before I actually make my final decision on like where I would rank Dragon Quest 3 in my rankings. But basically, yes. In terms of all of the remake quality of life improvements with the graphics, a lot of the like faster movement and like um, just visual aspects, and also the addition of like a new vocation, and also like the little things they added, like the monster taming, um, and just things like that, definitely have improved Dragon Quest 3 for me personally. Um, and I love it. And in terms of also like the being able to like actually customize the characters you're creating a little bit, compared to the previous versions, that was also a nice addition for sure. So all of the additions that they added made this version, for me personally, like the ideal version, which I absolutely adored to like explore with. Um, just also the little ability of being able to see your party before attacking was cool. Seeing the different weapons they have equipped is also cool. It all, again, it kind of gives a little bit more personality to each character, compared to before, where that was one of my kind of like, um, I guess, critiques of it, was that it just felt like you're technically creating your own party and you can choose male or female, but it was very like, the mage was an old man, so it was like the mage always had to be an old man, and I didn't necessarily love that aspect because, you know, I usually, when I play a game where you're creating your own characters, I like to make the characters look similar to people that I, am adding to my party. So I like didn't always like that aspect of Dragon Quest 3. Now, I know it's not necessarily like a super fair critique because this game did come out freaking 30 plus years ago, But again, in this version of it, I like that they gave you more, you know, more possibilities of changing up what your character looks like and all that stuff. And so that was very much appreciated. And so yeah, and then in terms of like in general, the biggest positive for this version is like the graphics, like the animations, the the world, the overworld, the everything. Everything is absolutely gorgeous, and it's definitely the best positive of this game, this version of it. So I love it very, very much. The additions to like the game itself in terms of like the story content is nice. Like the cut scenes and stuff like that, I really appreciated. The voice acting as well, I think it was really well done. I liked it a lot. Um, and then the extra boss fights, I think were kind of like a hit and a miss, kind of both at once. Um, and for me personally, like during like the extra boss fights weren't bad. I actually did enjoy them. I know a lot of people kind of like were frustrated with some of them compared to others, but I did enjoy the additional bosses. I think it added a little bit more, of an element to the story that was kind of lacking the first time around. Um, and so yeah, I really did enjoy the additional bosses. I never seemed to have any issues with them really. Like it it, sure were they a little bit challenging at times, but it wasn't anything so unfair that it just like completely broke the game for me. So I did actually enjoy the addition of the bosses and stuff like that. Um, and so, in terms of positives, again, it's everything that I've mentioned. And then, just I think in terms of negatives, I don't really have much negatives, but I do have kind of just like a little critique. And I don't know if this is fixed when you choose a different mode. Like if you choose, instead of Dragon Quest mode, you choose Draki mode. I don't know if this particular complaint that I have is changed in a different mode. But one thing that I did find pretty annoying and is definitely very annoying in the post game, which again I'm not going to really mention right now, but like literally every single enemy, um, after like half of the game, after you get to like half the game, all the enemies can move twice, every single one of them. And it's just kind of unfair, to be honest. Um, like I found that to be pretty freaking annoying, um, and it just kind of like, I don't know. Again, I don't know if it gets fixed with like the easier mode, but I don't want to play in easy mode. I want to play like in the normal mode. I'm not trying to play draconian mode either. Like screw that, but I do want a little bit of a challenge, and I don't know, it's kind of annoying that every single monster can move twice, It's like literally every single game before this version of Dragon Quest 3, literally every game, there's always maybe an enemy or two besides the bosses that can move twice. And there's even some bosses that can move three times, which is also annoying. But I get it, I get it. Like, it's supposed to be harder. It's an easy way to make a boss fight or an enemy be tougher. But again, these were mostly like little things that were reserved for bosses. And now every single enemy has it, and it was just really annoying. So I definitely did not like that very much. Um, but whatever, it is what it is. And so, but in terms of complaints, I think that was really only like my only actual complaint, because some of my other critiques from like the previous versions of Dragon Quest 3 was just kind of like the lack of information, or like guidance of like where you should go. And I get it, like once you start collecting the orbs, the world kind of opens up and lets you decide to where you want to go. But I kind of it was kind of hard to be able to actually like find where I needed to go. Um, so I kind of would get lost sometimes and stuff like that. But in this case, again, I do appreciate the guidance and all that stuff. And yeah, it was definitely welcomed. And again, the lack of story from the past compared to now, I like that they added so much little like story segments, and even the bosses that they added um, felt like, you know it was well added, or like felt like it was actually part of the story. Like, it didn't feel like it was added. It felt like it was like, you know actually part of the story, if that makes sense. And so I did enjoy, again, all that stuff. But yeah, but that's my negatives. Overall, I really enjoyed this game. I loved the the graphics of it. The presentation was phenomenal, out of this world. I think it really, did just make this game uh, so much more appealing compared to the previous versions. Um, and so, yeah, so I absolutely love that. So, yeah, those are basically my thoughts on, what, um, yeah, of Dragon Quest 3 HD-2D Remake, of the main story. Um, the boss fights, again, freaking fighting Baramos was cool, but finally getting to Zoma and fighting Zoma was like so freaking awesome. I loved it. It was great, 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 great freaking content. And I absolutely enjoyed the crap out of it. So I loved it. I loved it very, very much. But yeah, so that's basically it on my thoughts on Dragon Quest 3 HD2 Remake overall. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And again, I'm trying to maintain your opinions up to the main story. Let's not talk about the post game just yet. I promise I will make a post game like review or thoughts as well. Let's reserve those comments for that video. So the question would be, what did you guys think about the main story of Dragon Quest 3 HD2 Remake, which basically is up to defeating Zoma? Once you defeat Zoma is the end of the main story, right? So yeah, so what did you guys think up to that point? So anyways, let's move on to the next portion, because basically I didn't really intend it to be Papi's gaming show, but now it is, so let's just do it, dude. Um, Before that, like and subscribe, and huge shout out to all of my members, man. The Poke Kiddo 1, Jack, Plasma, and freaking Mr. Krabs. So thank you guys very much. Also, huge shout out to everyone that's gifted me members and supported me in any other way. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone that watches as well. So thank you guys for at least even liking the video. I really appreciate all you guys. So anyways, let's talk about what I'm playing right now. So okay, so as I kind of mentioned before, in my previous episode, I think I am even busier than I was before, because now I have 2 full-time jobs. So I'm getting about like Monday to Friday, I'm getting about 2 to 3 hours of sleep in between jobs, and then another hour and a half before I go to like my second job. So I'm getting about 4 hours of sleep every every day until the weekend. The weekend I can actually sleep a little bit more, and that's when I try to make a little bit more content besides actually spending time with my family. So, yeah, I have severely my gaming time has been severely reduced. Um, and so yeah, I have not been able to do much with that. I could bring my Switch to work and stuff like that, and maybe play on breaks and stuff. But I have found that um, even that's kind of been a little challenging because a lot of the time I just kind of like to take a little nap on my breaks and stuff. So I haven't really been gaming, and also my oldest son has been wanting to play more of like my games on Switch, and his Switch is mostly filled with like Mario games. And so, and now he's been wanting to play other games. So I've been letting him like create his own file and stuff on like my Nintendo Switch. So basically, I haven't really played Nintendo at all. And so I have been, because of this, I've just been mostly playing my my phone on my phone, and that's why I've been playing like PokeMMO and Pokemon Soul Silver more than anything on my breaks. Excuse me. And yeah, and then I kind of like put down PokeMMO. My intentions were really to just play through that, but I don't know. I just decided to start up Soul Silver. And after finding out that I can actually trade between like different files um, through the Melon DS emulator, I kind of really liked that. And I kind of decided to just play Soul Silver and yeah, eventually Heart Gold and Black and White and Black 2 and stuff like that. And I kind of want to complete the Pokédex between those versions. So yeah, that's kind of like my goal as of right now is that. And I've been really enjoying it, honestly. Soul Silver has been a blast. It's definitely my favorite Pokemon games. I know they're super overrated. I know a lot of people think that, which is fine. I get it. But I am a huge sucker for this game, man. I love this game so much. And I have been having an absolute blast replaying it. Right now, I just got to Whitney and I beat her. And so that's been really, really fun. And yeah, just catching Pokemon, every single one that I find. I'm trying to kind of come up with my party. I want to also try and kind of make it a little bit different than I usually have it. Like I usually get a Gengar, for example. This time I'm trying not to get a Gengar, even though I really want one. I think I'm going to go with an Espeon for like a psychic type. I do want to also get Heracross. So I did find a Heracross finally, but the freaking nature of the Heracross is literally the worst you can have for a freaking Heracross, being a physical attacker, and it like literally has a nature that is like basically non-beneficial. Uh, so it literally, I'm just kind of like, dude, what the heck? I finally find a Heracross, and it literally has the worst nature for its like the type of Pokemon it is. So I am totally like right now I have my Heracross at the daycare and trying to make babies with the Ditto. I was able to get one egg, so now I'm kind of hoping that it's at least a better nature because I hate that it's such like I hate that it got such a crappy nature. So yeah, I don't usually care a lot about natures, but I do want it to be at least a decent nature to where it doesn't like, you know, what's the word? Kind of like, um, basically, it's unbeneficial for the actual stat that Pokemon has the best stat for. And so, yeah, so that's why I'm trying to breed a Heracross to be at least a neutral nature so that I can, not have to worry about it sucking so bad. But anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of my situation right now. Um, yeah, so yeah, but I'm really loving the game. It's absolutely charming and gorgeous and fun, and I love it so much. And I love again the fact. Honestly, another plus is that like I can just load it up so fast with like the save states and the load states. I love that. Like that's been super helpful. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying Pokemon Soul Silver, but yeah. And besides Soul Silver, I've also been playing on the weekends when I have a little bit more time. Dragon's Dogma 2. I've been trying to get back into that because I really want to beat that game. Um, out of all the games I want to play, the huge ones I want to play, I kind of want to beat that one first and then kind of move on from there. But yeah, but I've been playing that as well. I've been getting back into that one, and oh my gosh, dude, I love that game so much. It's so good, so freaking good, so addicting and entertaining, and so beautifully just gorgeous. I'm literally just like exploring the world right now. I technically do have a mission, but I'm just getting lost in the wilderness and just finding treasures and caves and secrets and like just killing things, and it's an absolute blast. I am loving it so much. So yeah, but yeah, that's basically it for my gaming of what I've played in the last since I've made the last episode. Um, so yeah, and then in terms of anime, I haven't watched any anime. I need to catch up on One Piece. I really want to catch up on One Piece because it's finally back from its hiatus, which I didn't know this, but the reason why it took like a 6 month hiatus was because the team was working on Dragon Ball Daima. I had no idea. I didn't know that until I met up with some buddies and they told me, which obviously makes sense because it's basically the same art style, and I didn't notice it was the same studio. Um, but yeah, it is like I mean, obviously I don't like that One Piece took a huge break, but at the same time, Dragon Ball Daima was so fun and I absolutely enjoyed it that it's all good. It's okay. And now that it's back, like right now, there's a huge fight going on that I really want to watch, but again, I have to catch up. So I need to freaking catch up right now, man, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to like watch. Yeah, but anyways, that's basically it for my playing and watching of things. Just a quick update with Phoenix Quest card game. So yeah, I have officially finished like the rules and like the updated like how to play, stuff like that. I'm really happy with like the battling aspect of it. And now I'm just basically looking for people to test play the actual game. So if you're interested in test playing the game, what I would do is send you kind of like a printout sheet with like a couple cards. So it'd be a couple different printout sheets that you would print out and cut out. And then you'd be able to like play and test out the game because I'll also send out a copy of like the rules. And so if you're interested in trying out Phoenix Quest card game, obviously this is an unofficial version and it's just kind of like to be able to have people play test it and tell me their thoughts, and if there's anything that doesn't work or if they find that isn't balanced, that's kind of like the process I'm in right now. I'm still drawing more monsters and stuff like that, so that's going to take a little bit more time to like get down of having like more monsters down and stuff like that until the full version is actually ready. But my plan is to play test the game for a while and then get feedback and then also finish, actually being able to get all of the monsters of this first sort of season or version. Uh, um, and then when all of that stuff is ready, I'll officially release the cards, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, just let me know if you guys want to play test the game. I would really appreciate that, and I would love to get feedback from everyone that's interested. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys very much, and we'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace and love.